What happens when you accidentally hire a North Korean hacker? Nothing good, as one company has just found out. Also in your hacking news roundup, a Telegram exploit lets cybercriminals disguise APKs as videos, and state-sponsored hackers are taking advantage of the CrowdStrike disaster. But first, a North Korean spy infiltrates KnowBe4. What is KnowBe4? Well, in the company's own words, they're the provider of the world's largest security awareness training and simulated phishing platform. Simply put, if you want to get your workforce up to speed with the dangers of the interwebs, these are the guys you go to, which makes the story you're about to hear all the more ironic. So, KnowBe4 posted a job list for a principal software engineer and advertised it as normal. One of the prospective applicants was this guy, who KnowBe4 is calling XXXX, but we'll just call him X. The company conducted 4 video interviews with the guy before deciding he was perfect for the role, so they performed a background check and then hired the guy. And because this was for a remote position, they shipped one of their standard issue employee MacBooks over to him. But this is where things quickly went south, because as soon as X received it, the security software that KnowBe4 loads onto every employee laptop started reporting that it had somehow already been infected with malware, some kind of info stealer, the kind of malware which scoops up saved passwords, cookies, device information, and a lot more from a target computer. This was obviously a bit of a red flag, so KnowBe4 got in touch with X, and according to them, that's when it got dodgy, fast. X gave the excuse that he was trying to troubleshoot a speed issue with his router, and that may have caused the compromise. Which, yes, that makes as little sense to you as it does me. KnowBe4 tried to get him on a call, but X claimed he was busy, and then became unresponsive. That's the last they heard from him, and it turns out X didn't even exist. The profile picture he provided was really just some stock image which had been altered with the power of AI, and those identity documents he gave for the background check were valid but stolen. This is when KnowBe4 enlisted the help of the FBI, and their investigation suggests that X was really a North Korean spy who likely infected the laptop with an info stealer in order to scoop up any credentials still stored on it from previous employees. North Koreans infiltrating Western companies is by no means a new phenomenon. It pops up every so often on this channel, and we saw exactly how it works a couple months back when an Arizonan woman was charged with being an integral part of one of these schemes. She was allegedly tasked with receiving those employee-issued laptops and hooking them up to VPNs, so that North Koreans could control them from the safety of their motherland. And in many cases, the North Koreans would actually do the jobs they were hired for, making sure to work during the night to make it appear as if they were operating in a US time zone. In the case of the Arizonan woman, she allegedly facilitated the earning of almost $7 million in salaries, which of course all went back to Kim's regime, or more specifically, it's thought the proceeds from these kinds of operations are funneled right into the North's nuclear weapons program. Whilst it is ironic that a security awareness company fell for one of these fake employee scams, the fact they even owned up to it and gave us this story, rather than hiding behind some DOJ-issued pseudonym, does deserve some praise. Next up, researchers have discovered a Telegram exploit being sold on XSS. XSS is one of the internet's oldest hacking forums, which is primarily Russian-speaking, so please excuse the god-awful translation that's coming up. The seller, Anchrono, claimed to be selling some kind of Telegram APK install Android MP4 exploit. They didn't name a price, but they did offer to provide a demo for potential buyers. But unfortunately for Anchrono, an ESET researcher just so happened to be lurking on XSS and DM'd him asking for that demo. The exploit works like this. The hacker sends what appears to be a regular 30-second long MP4 video, but when you tap it, Telegram says it's unable to play it and suggests opening it in an external player. It's important to note, given Telegram downloads media by default, that video, or malware, as it will soon become apparent, is at this point already on your phone. After tapping open, it becomes pretty clear that the video was somehow an APK in disguise. But for the APK to actually install, you have to do a series of very stupid things, which results in the malware, in this case some kind of X-Hamster premium mod, being installed on your phone. Obviously, this isn't the kind of hack I would expect any of my subscribers to ever fall for. However, for the boomers in our lives, that's going to be a very different story, especially if the exploit is combined with a clever social engineering campaign. For example, maybe telling people they have to tap install in order to make the video play properly. ESET researchers have been unable to recreate the exploit, so they can't say exactly how it works. However, they're guessing that the specific payload is most likely crafted using the Telegram API. The API gives developers granular control over how attachments are crafted, and this isn't the first time it's been exploited. Just 3 months ago, a different bug meant hackers could send Python scripts also disguised as videos, but this was arguably way worse, because merely clicking on what looked like a video would trigger the underlying Python script to run, which could cause a calculator to open, like in this proof of concept, or perhaps something way worse. Though you did have to have Python installed for this to even work. In this case, the problem was simply down to a typo in the Telegram desktop app source code, which meant pyzw, a very particular Python file extension, was misspelled as pywz, and so the true extension just wasn't on Telegram's list of dangerous file types. In the case of APKs disguised as videos, the researchers reported it to Telegram, who missed their first email, though after a second email, Telegram fixed the issue, and now maliciously crafted videos appear just as they should. Next up, not wanting to let a good tragedy go to waste, hacktivists and cybercriminals have spent the last few days exploiting the CrowdStrike disaster. Faced with entire fleets of computers blue screening, IT technicians were understandably desperate for a quick fix. But in the first few hours of the meltdown, there was only one real solution, which involved booting individual PCs into safe mode and manually deleting certain files. Such an annoying fix was necessary because given how CrowdStrike's monitoring software runs at such a low level, if it crashes, the whole PC would just blue screen, stopping it from booting. But this whole process is obviously pretty time consuming, especially if you've got hundreds, if not thousands of PCs to get through. And sensing an opportunity, it wasn't long until cybercriminals started registering dozens of domains relating to CrowdStrike with the intent on using them for evil. One of these domains promised a program that could fix the problem. It's portable, without any dependencies, and can be used on USB flash drives. Only it'd cost you a few €100 in Bitcoin or Ether. An obvious scam. Another site that was being linked to in phishing emails was pushing CrowdStrike-hotfix.zip. The instructions file suggests this campaign was probably targeting CrowdStrike customers in South America, but of course, running setup.exe would do nothing other than install a certain rat on the victim's computer. But state-sponsored hackers wanted in on the fun too. A pro-Iranian hacking group going by Handler sent out phishing emails to Israeli companies. Impersonating CrowdStrike, the emails claimed to have a fix in an attached PDF. The PDF linked to a certain CrowdStrike.exe, which was in fact wiper malware, which would systematically just delete everything on the victim computer. And on their Telegram channel, Handler brags that they successfully infected dozens of organizations which lost several terabytes of data. Though hacktivists have a habit of inflating their successes, so that number is probably at least a little bit inflated. Others tried to profit from the disaster in different ways. Several sites launched CrowdStrike-themed meme coins, which of course had zero substance to them other than Twitter accounts trying to market the coins using memes, with the whole thing being nothing but a quick pump and dump. But it's not all doom and gloom. Some of the newly created websites are genuinely just memeing, and a few have popped up selling CrowdStrike, or should I say ClownStrike merch, if you want a little memento of the occasion. However, for almost all of those scam sites, the fun is over, as they've either been flagged or have now just been shut down. With genuine tools having been released to help IT support actually fix computers, the opportunity for bad guys is slowly fading. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.